strange days arrive with a weight you can feel before you can explain it. Some moments press against your awareness as if life itself is signaling that something is shifting beneath the surface. In the Shaolin tradition, we say time carries its own energy, and the one who is awake can sense when a day is not just a date, but a doorway. November 18th is one of those days, not because of outer events or dramatic headlines, but because of the subtle inner change it can unlock for those who walk with clarity. I am Shi Hengyi, and today I will guide you through a perspective many overlook. You will learn why certain days feel charged with possibility, how the mind registers a turning point before life reveals it, and why Shaolin masters pay close attention to small inner shifts long before action is taken. I will show you the deeper meaning behind timing, energy, and awareness, and I will share a lesser-known teaching that a single day can reshape your direction when your inner state is ready to receive it. Stay with me until the end, because the final part of this message will reveal a principle I rarely speak about, one that explains why some people sense change coming while others walk past that same moment without noticing anything at all. If you are here, then perhaps a part of you already feels the movement within. Perhaps November 18th is not arriving, it is already unfolding inside you. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If the teachings of clarity, discipline, and inner strength speak to you, make sure to subscribe and walk this path with us. Some truths reveal themselves only when life presses against you. Pressure does not create weakness or strength, it only exposes what is already there. This is a lesson every Shaolin disciple learns early, and it becomes clearer the further you walk on the path. There is an old teaching: you do not rise to the moment, you fall to the level of your training. Many people believe that when an important day arrives, when change calls, when opportunity knocks, when a challenge stands in front of them, they will somehow become stronger, clearer, more disciplined. But the Shaolin way shows the opposite. You will not suddenly become who you hope to be. You will simply reveal who you have been becoming in the quiet hours when no one was watching. November 18th acts as a mirror for your inner foundation, not because the date is magical, but because awareness heightens when we expect a turning point. This heightened awareness brings your truth to the surface. Everything you've been practicing or avoiding steps into the light. If you've been strengthening your mind, calming your breath, sharpening your choices, then this day amplifies those qualities. Your actions feel natural. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your steps feel guided. But if you've been delaying growth, hiding from discomfort, or feeding habits that weaken you, the same day will reveal that too. Not to punish you, but to show you the gap between who you are and who you intend to be. This is why Shaolin training focuses on preparation long before the test arrives. We repeat movements thousands of times. We sit with discomfort. We cultivate discipline in small moments, because when the moment of truth comes, it is too late to prepare. And so, as this day approaches, understand one thing: it is not asking you to perform, it is asking you to meet yourself. Before any great step is taken, the mind must step there first. This is a principle woven deeply into Shaolin practice. A punch, a kick, a leap, even a moment of stillness, none of it carries true power unless the mind has already arrived. Without inner readiness, even the strongest body moves without direction. In the training halls, beginners often rush. They try to master physical form before they understand intention. Their bodies move, but their awareness lags behind. Masters watch silently because they know the truth: an action performed without presence is hollow. It has speed, but no purpose. It has force, but no spirit. Mental presence is the doorway through which all skill enters the world. When the mind is clear, the body follows with precision. When the heart is steady, choices become effortless. When emotions are grounded, timing becomes natural, not forced, not guessed, but sensed. There is an ancient idea that the mind is the general and the body is the soldier. The general moves first. The soldier follows. If the general is lost, the soldier marches into chaos. This is why scattered thoughts drain strength. This is why emotional turbulence makes even simple tasks feel heavy. Wasted energy, wasted timing. But when the mind arrives early, calm, aware, intentional, everything changes. The body becomes lighter, tension dissolves. Actions line up with clarity. Even challenges feel different. You stop reacting, you start responding. This inner readiness is not dramatic. It does not require rituals or perfect silence. It only requires presence, a quiet breath before speaking, a moment of awareness before acting, a decision to align your inner world before stepping into the outer one. Because the truth is simple, when your mind has already entered the moment cannot overpower you. It becomes something you shape, not something you fear. Changes rarely arrive with noise. They begin as something almost invisible, a faint shift beneath the surface of your awareness. In mindfulness practice, this is one of the first lessons. The body senses a new direction long before the mind fully understands it. The signs are subtle, patient, and easily overlooked if you live only on the surface of your thoughts. Shaolin teachings describe this as the whisper before the storm. Not a storm of destruction, but a storm of transformation. Before life turns a corner, the inner world adjusts its balance. Sometimes you feel a quiet tension, not the stressful kind, but the feeling that something is tightening in preparation. Other times there's a sudden calm, as if your inner space grows wider, clearer, ready to receive something new. These shifts are messages. The body speaks long before the mind interprets. A change in breath, a change in posture, a sudden awareness of your heartbeat. These are not random. They are signals that your inner world is reorganizing itself. The challenge is not to search for signs, but to become still enough to notice them. When you move through life quickly, every inner whisper is drowned out. But when you slow the mind, even slightly, the signals become gentle guides. Ancient practitioners believed that intuition is not a mystical gift, but a refined sensitivity to inner movement. They trained themselves to notice the smallest flicker of energy. A tiny shift in breath could reveal fear. A slight expansion in the chest could reveal readiness. A softening of the shoulders could reveal acceptance. As you learn to tune into these movements, you understand yourself more clearly. You make choices not out of habit, but out of alignment. And when you sense the inner shift early, the outer change no longer surprises you. Instead, it feels like you have been walking toward it all along. True strength rarely announces itself. In the Shaolin way, the most powerful force is not loud, aggressive, or dramatic. It is quiet resolve, an inner firmness that does not waver even when the world shifts around you. This type of strength cannot be displayed. It can only be lived. In the temple, the loudest students often burn out first. They push with noise, hoping effort alone will prove their determination. But the masters look for something different. They watch for the student who returns each day with steady steps, who trains without seeking attention, who carries conviction like a silent flame. That flame is quiet resolve. It does not flare quickly, but it never goes out. Change does not require shouting. It does not require grand declarations or emotional intensity. Most transformation begins with a single calm decision, a decision made deep inside the mind where noise cannot reach. Once this decision is made, it becomes like a stone at the bottom of a river, still, stable, untouched, no matter how fast the water moves above it. Quiet resolve allows you to keep your direction even when circumstances shift. You do not need to argue with life. You simply stay aligned with your inner choice. This stability creates a powerful momentum. External noise no longer distracts you. Doubt loses its strength. Discipline becomes natural, not forced. Ancient practitioners believed that this silent commitment is stronger than any physical technique. A body can tire. Emotions can fluctuate. But a steady inner decision held calmly can transform a person's entire path. This is the essence of quiet resolve. A peace that chooses, a strength that does not shout, and a direction that holds firm. It is the kind of power that reshapes a life from the inside outward, one silent moment at a time. In Shaolin training, progress does not begin with addition, it begins with release. Before a new skill is learned, an old habit must be loosened. Before strength appears, tension must dissolve. And before the mind can take a new step, it must let go of the weight it has carried for far too long. Many people seek transformation by trying to stack new practices on top of old patterns. But ancient masters understood that a full cup cannot receive more water. If the mind is crowded with fear, doubt, or hesitation, no amount of discipline can settle it. So the first lesson is simple, yet often the hardest: make space. Letting go is not weakness. It is intentional clarity. It is choosing to release what no longer supports your path. On a day of inner turning, like the one symbolized here, life invites you to notice the emotional weight you've grown used to carrying, fear that interrupts your decisions, doubt that steals your confidence, procrastination that hides your potential, quiet sadness that lingers beneath your thoughts. These patterns do not fall away by force. They loosen when you stop feeding them, when you stop identifying with them, when you stop allowing them to dictate your next step. Letting go is an internal gesture, a breath that softens the mind, a choice to put something down instead of holding it tighter. Shaolin elders often say, before you open a door, you must first remove the stone blocking the path. That stone is different for everyone, but the moment you set it aside, even slightly, you feel a shift. The path becomes clearer, your energy rises, your direction becomes easier to follow. Letting go is the beginning of every true transformation. It creates the space where new strength can grow, where clarity can settle, and where your next chapter can finally enter. Breath is the first teacher in Shaolin practice. Long before complex forms or deep philosophy, students learn to return to the simple rhythm that carries life through every moment. In the temple, breath is treated not as something automatic, but as something sacred. It is the bridge between the inner world and the outer one, between intention and action. When the mind is scattered, the breath becomes shallow. When emotions rise, the breath becomes tight. When doubt enters, the breath loses its rhythm. This is why the breath is the first place to look whenever you feel ungrounded. It reveals your inner state before your thoughts can explain it. On a day charged with meaning, like November 18th, your breath becomes more than a physical function. It becomes a compass. Each steady inhale anchors you in the present. Each gentle exhale releases tension that does not belong in the next chapter of your life. With every slow cycle, your intention becomes clearer, more centered, more honest. In Shaolin wisdom, the breath carries intent. If your breath is calm, your choices follow in the same direction. You respond instead of react. You see instead of rush. You step forward with clarity instead of hesitation. This alignment creates powerful outcomes, not through force, but through coherence. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions move as one. There's an old saying, where the breath goes, the mind follows. When you guide your breath, you guide your inner world. When your inner world is steady, the outer world cannot easily shake you. So on this day, allow the breath to shape your intention. Slow down, settle into yourself. Let each breath carve a path toward the version of you that is ready to rise. When your intent and your breath move together, even the smallest step becomes meaningful. In Shaolin practice, mastery is not measured by how many things you can do, but by how deeply you can enter a single action. One movement, repeated with full attention. One breath, followed with full awareness. One intention, honored without distraction. This is the foundation upon which all higher skill is built. Many students arrive eager to learn everything at once. They wish to master forms, techniques, strength, balance, every discipline the temple offers. But the elders smile gently because they know the truth. The mind that chases many directions gains little depth. The mind that focuses on one path becomes unshakable. There is a quiet power in committing to a single action. When you pour your full awareness into one step, that step becomes a doorway. It sharpens your presence. It strengthens your discipline. It teaches you to meet the moment fully, without scattering your energy across 1,000 intentions. On a day that symbolizes change, you are not asked to transform your entire life. You are asked to choose one meaningful action and honor it completely. It could be a conversation you've avoided, a decision you've postponed, a habit you are ready to release, or a practice you want to begin. whatever it is. Let it be simple, clear, and honest. Small actions, when aligned with a steady mind, ripple outward. They shift your direction quietly but powerfully. A single step taken with intention has more force than 100 steps taken without purpose. Ancient practitioners believed that when you master one action, you master the essence of all actions. Because the skill is not in the movement itself, it is in the attention you bring to it. So let this day be shaped not by overwhelm, but by focus. One choice, one action, one moment lived with full presence. From that single point, everything else begins to shift. The greatest teacher is often the one we overlook. In the silence of the temple, monks learned that wisdom is not always found in scrolls, lessons, or demonstrations. It is found in the quiet voice within, the inner teacher that speaks without words, that guides without force. This voice is subtle, patient, and unwavering, but it requires attention to hear. Most people live with constant noise, thoughts, doubts, distractions, and opinions that pull them in every direction. In such chaos, the inner teacher is drowned out, and decisions are made from habit, fear, or confusion. Shaolin practice teaches the opposite. Stillness is the doorway to clarity. The quieter the mind, the louder the guidance becomes. When you stop rushing, when you pause, when you breathe with intention, you create space for insight to rise naturally. This moment, this day of potential transformation, invites you to turn inward. The mind may offer hesitation, but the heart, calm and observant, already knows the next step. Trusting intuition is not guesswork, it is recognition. It is the awareness that the body, the mind, and the subtle energies around you have already gathered the information you need. You only need to listen. Ancient practitioners describe this as aligning with your true rhythm. The inner teacher does not shout. It nudges, it points. It whispers lessons that, if followed, create alignment with both the self and the world. Over time, this voice sharpens. Decisions become lighter, clearer, more accurate. You move through life with fewer mistakes, fewer regrets, and a deeper understanding of your path. Learning to hear this voice requires patience and discipline. One must cultivate quiet moments, observe without judgment, and honor the guidance that arises. The more you listen, the more your inner teacher becomes a companion, guiding each action, each choice, each breath toward mastery. The calendar may mark a day, but the day itself carries no power. True transformation does not arrive with a number or a season. It comes from the state of your mind, the clarity of your awareness, and the steadiness of your heart. Shaolin wisdom has long taught the moment changes when you change. The outer world mirrors only what is cultivated within. Many wait for a sign, a perfect alignment of circumstances, or a dramatic event to spark change. Yet the masters know that these external markers are illusions. The real shift begins when you adjust your inner state, calm the mind, release resistance. Align your breath. When your inner world settles, even the most ordinary moment becomes extraordinary. This day, symbolic or not, offers a mirror. It does not create change for you, it simply reflects what is ready to emerge. If fear, doubt, or hesitation dominate your inner landscape, the day will feel heavy, even oppressive. If focus, presence, and resolve guide you, the same day feels expansive, open, and full of potential. The difference is entirely internal. Ancient practitioners often meditated on this principle through stillness and ritual. They did not wait for the world to shift. They trained themselves to shift first. By observing their breath, posture, and intention, they discovered that altering the state of mind altered the experience of every circumstance. The stone in the path remained the same, but their step over it became effortless. This principle teaches that power is not in the timing of events, but in your readiness to meet them. When your inner state is grounded, even the smallest opportunity carries weight. Even the quietest moment becomes fertile. Transformation begins not on a date marked in red, but in the calm, aware, and disciplined space you occupy within yourself. Uncertainty is a companion that cannot be avoided. The path of personal mastery does not promise clarity at every step, nor does it guarantee that obstacles will disappear. Instead, it teaches how to remain steady when the ground beneath you feels uncertain, when life shifts in ways you cannot predict. True strength is not the absence of doubt, but the ability to stand firm within it. Shaolin masters often speak of the middle way, not a path without challenge, but a mind that does not sway in the face of challenge. They train not to control the world, but to control the response to the world. The storms of circumstance may roar, yet the practitioner learns to breathe through them, to observe without panic, and to act from clarity rather than fear. On a day charged with potential, such as this, uncertainty may feel heavier than usual. The mind may spin with possibilities, and the heart may tighten with tension. But these moments are not obstacles. They are invitations. They call you to respond deliberately, rather than react impulsively. Responding comes from awareness, from stillness, from the understanding that every choice has power when made consciously. Reacting comes from distraction, habit, or emotion, and rarely leads to alignment. Ancient wisdom teaches that the mind is like water. When still, it reflects truth clearly. When tossed by waves, the reflection is distorted. Personal mastery trains the mind to remain like still water, even when uncertainty rocks the surface. Each breath becomes an anchor, each pause a point of clarity, each conscious action a step rooted in presence. To stand firm in uncertainty is to discover a strength that does not depend on outcomes. It is to realize that calm presence is itself mastery, and that the ability to respond with clarity transforms not only the moment but the path that follows. As we approach November 18th, remember that true awakening is not about dramatic events or external shifts. It is the quiet culmination of inner preparation, mindful awareness, and steady discipline. Change begins when the mind is aligned, when one deliberate action is chosen, and when old weight, fear, doubt, hesitation is gently released. Each breath, each moment of focus, each step taken with intention brings clarity and strength that ripple far beyond the day itself. The lesson is simple yet profound. Transformation is cultivated from within. By practicing presence, honoring discipline, and trusting your inner guidance, you step into life with calm clarity and quiet power. Let this day be a reminder that even small mindful actions can create meaningful change. Carry this awareness into your daily life. Begin with one intentional choice, one mindful breath, one act of quiet strength. Over time, these small shifts will build the foundation for lasting transformation. Thank you for walking this path with us. If these teachings resonate, support our journey by liking this video and subscribing to Shaolin Soulfire. Step forward with peace, presence, and the gentle power of inner mastery.